This is Rookie and Mini. So the last two cars right there, the two green ones, we're driving forward. We're actually going to start halfway because we're not actually racing each other. But for those of you planning on getting into RC, a Mini, so this is a Tamiya M chassis, might be the way to go. These cars are slightly smaller, so they're probably closer to a 1/12 scale. Relatively inexpensive compared to some of the other ones, and they handle quite well. Both of these cars are MO8s, M8Rs I believe, both of them, at least mine is. Different bodies though, both bodies are great, especially the Lotus, which is right behind. And then you have all the rookies that are out on the straight, so this is how we are going to begin. Again, we're not racing each other, but if you're getting started, you may want to consider a Mini. It will not break the bank, and then Tamiya makes a lot of spare parts for it, and they generally keep the kits for a very long time. And there we go. I turned in too sharply and I hit the turn, which is made out of rubber, so I am stuck. It's my fault. So the marshal is holding my car, making sure that cars pass, because as a marshal, for example, you don't, yes, you want to try to help the guy out and flip the car, put on its tires, but in the end, the guy that crashed, kind of his fault. So here, kind of my fault, and by kind of my fault, it is my fault. So the only thing that he's doing is, instead of putting the car right away, he's making sure that it's safe to put the car down. Chances are, if he had put the car down, especially with all the rookie drivers, nothing against rookie drivers, we've all been there, is that there might have been a high chance I may have gotten rear-ended or could have caused an accident. So honestly, that was the best way to go. Am I going to recover from it? No, I'm certainly not. The other gentleman that I'm driving, he is a great driver. I mean, you screw up like that, you're not going to recover. Sometimes he makes a few mistakes here and there, and one can catch up, but not from something like this. But it's still very, very enjoyable. And one of the things that I want you to just look at is how well this handles. This is a rear-wheel drive, so if you're interested in rear-wheel drive cars, this is one car that you could use. Do watch my other Mini videos where I'm racing the M07. Now the M07, my M07, I'm no longer going to be driving that, mainly because, unfortunately, sad day, I'm kidding, it's a really happy day. It's now in the hands of another driver that's actually driving here. So he's driving one of the rookie cars here, and that M07, that was mine. Was mine. No, I'm kidding. It's wonderful. Now so now we're going to have another mini racer, which is awesome. So I hope he gets that car up and running for the next race. The only thing it needs, it started off as an M07, and then I put the aluminum shocks in there. And I never drove it after I put the brand new shocks. But the only thing it needs is a servo ESC. It has a US GT fixed timing motor, but ideally it should have a Reedy fixed timing motor, which is what I'm running. That's what the other gentleman is running. So we're running fixed timing motors on here, and then it'll be awesome. Now, I know I haven't mentioned your name, proud owner of the M07. And honestly, that was my goal. My goal was to get somebody else in it. I'm not going to give too many details about how he came to acquire that vehicle from me. But if you're listening, I'll try to remember my old body, just in case you don't get a body in time. Actually, I'll just put it in my bag now, and then I'll just lend you that body, or give you that body. I guess you can run my old colors. It's the burgundy, so they won't confuse us, but it does have the signature meatballs on there. But anyway, that aside, these minis are just awesome, and notice how we're keeping up with the other cars, because it's not really about speed, as in from the motor, how fast the motor is. It's really the handling and the lines, and the lines, I can definitely improve them. I mean, they definitely need improving. Just watch. Well, okay, that wasn't that bad. That definitely needs improving. Just before the bridge, I lost too much speed, and it was quite obvious. I turned it a little too sharp and then lifted that rear wheel. That's what happens with that. A little better. Yeah, that one needs to be a lot tighter. That was way too wide. And then the one bad turn made the other one bad too. But if you compare it to some of the others, some of the other cars, they're a little too fast. There is such a thing as a vehicle being too fast for getting started. And there goes the other green car. Notice how nice that car drives. So again, mini class is a great class, but it's time to go into the 2 short minutes of my VTA race where I DNF'd. It's not 2 minutes. And there I am, number 7. I'm going to be dead last because I'm going to DNF. Did not finish. So a few little things. I've been running the 0 by 3 racing. Now that was just a pileup, so that was bad. This whole race is bad. And then my body kept hitting the tires, so I have to keep yelling. Well, I think I keep yelling in hopes that somebody will fix the body. And it's going to happen again. To be honest, this was the worst race. Not just because I DNF'd, but because of all the little accidents. The other ones were a lot better. So now, at this point, because of those crashes, I just have to get out of the way. Everybody has already caught up. So there's nothing I can do. At this point, I lost. But a few things that I'm going to mention. Number 1, the red shell beat me in this race because I DNF'd. Well, the point is, he beat me in this race. And I think race 1, he had also DNF'd. Okay, that was the blue car's fault. But again, the body. So he just has to go, because there I'm stuck. It's the body. Yeah, just fix the body. It'll be fine. Just pay attention to it. Anyway, if the red shell ends up beating me in VTA for the during the series, I'm going to buy him lunch. So there, it's official. I'm going to buy the red shell lunch if he beats me in the series point standing. Now, if he beats me because I DNF the next 3 races, then I'm selling the car for an affordable price. Or maybe doing a trade that does not favor me, just to get rid of it. But anyway, red shell, if you're out there, I know you are, this is your chance to get lunch. Now, another thing, something else that I wanted to mention is I went with softer springs in the rear because I really didn't have traction. Now I have some more traction in the rear, and for those of you that are new, sometimes that'll make a difference. Just go with softer springs in the rear if you're losing the rear a little too much. I guess you could also go with harder springs in the front, but don't overdo it. If it starts bouncing up and down in the front and not absorbing, that's probably it. And the reason why I say this is, now this one here, my times were horrible, so my average 5 laps, because that's all I did, is 21.962. Which is bad because of all the crashing, everything, that's why. So that number we can throw away. But qualifier 1 before the spring change, that was 18 seconds 54. After the spring change, qualifier 2, that was 17.524. Now that's a whole second faster. One could make the argument that, well, you know, maybe it warmed up a little more, but VTA was later in the qualifying races, so I don't really think, I think it was already somewhat warm. But anyway, unfortunately, I'm thinking that maybe an arm just popped out, but my buddy here is checking it out and he's giving me the bad news. It's broken. It's kaput. That's it. I'm finished. Oh well. I have to go cry now. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Oh, my hair! My car! My rod!